Hi there. I see a donut on Hayden's shirt, and it makes me want sugar.
No, it says this.
You might need to tell him what it says.
I only see Jimmy's.
No, it says donut worry.
Oh, don't worry. That's very well themed for today. You know, Costa Rica is a place where people do not worry a whole lot. What does your shirt say, Quinn? Find joy in the ordinary. I like it.
And there are two foxes.
Looks cool. Foxes are also a good choice for today because Costa Rica has so many animals. Do you guys know much about Costa Rica?
No. Mommy said it would be somewhere high on my list.
I think that's true. It's a place that a lot of people from the U.S. go to travel because it's close to the U.S. and it's so beautiful. And a lot of people speak English there, even though it's a Spanish-speaking country. So here's the U.S. And of course, you guys are up here in Pennsylvania, and there's people all over, and they fly all the way down to this little country of Costa Rica in Central America. Anything stand out when you look at Costa Rica? Flip to satellite view here.
I can't find Costa. It's right next to Panama.
It's super hard to see. It's in the, let's see, right, yeah,
Really
it's
small
right.
Country.
There you go, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah. They have a lot of beaches. That's one of the big things. So they've got lots of ocean and lots of ocean for such a small country. And
why don't you have any stars there?
Any stars? That might just be because of how it's zoomed. Yeah, I think the stars are all hidden by the other ones. But yeah, the stars are usually representing places I've been, and I've been to a lot of it. It's not showing on this image for some reason.
Okay.
But I figured we could start with some of the fun stuff first, like sloth.
Look at the baby sloth.
Yeah, they're super cute, and they're so fast. They run around the trees and they swing so fast. Not exactly. They're super.
Look at the sixth one on the first row.
The sixth one on the first row. Oh, this little guy?
No, the sixth one on. Yeah, that one. He's so cute. And look, one's hanging upside down. Look, one's hanging. No, the other one. There are two of them.
There's a lot of them. There's a ton of sloths. So I don't know which ones you're referring to.
Baby ones.
I'm not sure. There's a lot of babies too. Oh, up here?
Mhm.
Yep.
Do you know why they're green?
I don't know. Do you know?
They're green because they're so slow that algae grows on them.
That's crazy.
It helps them camouflage.
Have you seen the movie Zootopia?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I think of when I think of the sloths. They tell jokes.
Remember Nick was like, what do you call three humped camel? And he was like, what do you call
Amazing.
three humped camel? Pregnant!
It's pretty good. It's a good joke. They were just super slow to tell it.
He gets smiley on smiley.
Yeah, I remember. It's a great scene.
They have poison dart frogs.
Yeah, they've got poison dart frogs too. All kinds of crazy colors. This was my favorite one. It's one that's really famous. It's the red-eyed tree frogs. They've got these crazy red eyes, blue and purple and orange bodies, a white belly.
The second one on the fourth row is on someone's finger.
Wow. Yeah, maybe this one's not poisonous. Some of them might not be poisonous. Or maybe it's like the kind of thing where if you immediately wash your hands with the right hand sanitizer, it's not as dangerous. Sometimes the professionals, they know how to handle them. And they know which ones are dangerous or not. Wow, look at this one jumping.
I think he's dancing.
Yeah. This blue one's pretty crazy. Poison dart frog.
Beautiful.
You know, some frogs live during the day, or some frogs are awake during the day, and some frogs are only awake at night. I think I spelled that wrong. Nocturnal. These are some of the nocturnal ones. So I actually went on a frog tour where you walk around like a frog zoo and you shine little flashlights. Let's see if I can see. Night tour. Oh yeah, here it is. So you walk in this really, really dark space and they're all in these little sort of nooks and crannies throughout the space, and you go with someone who knows where they all like to hang out, and you take flashlights and you look at them. Just like this, you can see the people with the flashlights. So it's a night walk tour. And look at this one. Oh my goodness. The other day here in Taiwan, I was going for a hike and I found this pond with frogs, and they were all doing this. There were like 12 of them sitting in a pond. It was a family. And they were like, I don't know, it was a chorus or something. They all had the throats, and it was like, rah, rah. I'll send you guys the video. It was quite interesting. I promise. They also have snakes. What do you guys think about snakes?
Oh, they're so cute. Mommy, look. They're so cute.
I don't know if they're cute, but they are colorful. And
Guess
some of them are dangerous and some of them aren't, but they have all kinds of different colors.
Guess
From white
who
to brown to green.
is the person who loves snakes in the whole entire world?
Who loves them the most?
In the whole entire world.
Is it Mimi?
Mommy.
She loves snakes. Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't like snakes. They can be really scary, but not as scary as the toucans. The toucans are the scariest. They're so terrifying. Look at this. Aren't you just scared? You want to run away in case it bites you with that crazy colorful beak. Actually, that's a really beautiful beak. And the yellow neck. I like it. They got the monkeys. They've got all kinds of stuff. They got the coatis. Remember the coatis?
Leopards
in Panama. Yep.
Leopards and gorillas.
Leopards and gorillas as well. And a super happy sloth. I just love this guy. He's got the best smile. So they got all kinds of animals because they've got so much forest. They have cloud forests, just like what we learned about with Ecuador earlier this week. And the cloud forests, sometimes they're so cloudy that even if it's not raining, you get wet. Like here's a person walking around in a raincoat just because, oh wait, is that even a person? That's like a fake person. I think it's a statue. But you walk around and you might even wear a raincoat because you could get wet just walking through the clouds. But they're so green, and you can actually go flying like Superman. You can fly in jungles. It's like zip lining, except you swing from your back. And they have it near the ocean, and they have it up in the mountains.
Are they strapped in tightly?
They are strapped in very tight. And they have some that are a mile long. So I went on this where I was doing the Superman pose, and I went for like 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes on the zip line, cruising over top the jungle, over the canopy, which is good because I didn't want to go through the jungle. I was afraid of the snakes. And they get a lot of rain. What's the question, Hayden?
Did you go through the forest?
I did some hiking in the forest too. Yeah, they have lots of hanging bridges.
The zip line.
Yeah, I did the zip line. I went over top the forest on the zip line. And they have a lot of bridges like this too. So if you do hike through, you can stay up and you can hang out and you can watch the birds, all that good stuff.
That's my least favorite kind of bridge. I hate those bridges.
Yeah, they swing a little bit. They can make you a little nervous.
I hate them so much.
Oh, you would really hate this one. This one doesn't even have handrails. That's scary. They get lots and lots of rain, which means the whole country is super green, like all year round. So this is the countryside, lots of hills, and it's just rolling hills all through the country. They also have a ton of volcanoes, so similar to Ecuador in that way. And they have one volcano in particular called Arenal. And Arenal is one of the 10 most active volcanoes in the world. So it's constantly shooting up smoke, and sometimes it shoots up lava like this. And what do you get when you're really close to volcanoes? What tends to be nearby? Do you remember with all that heat and lava?
Rocks.
Rocks for sure. But what else will that heat that's boiling under the water, what else or under the ground, what else might that produce?
Geysers.
Geysers is a good guess.
Marshmallows.
Marshmallows, yep, that's something we learned about as well. Which country was that? Guatemala. But hot springs. So sometimes, yeah, hot springs. These are natural hot springs. So you don't even have to go and heat up the water. It's just always hot. And you can go and hang out in them. And in Costa Rica, near that volcano, They have some of the most beautiful ones I've ever seen. So they have like little hot spring waterfalls. So you can be in a hot tub with a hot tub waterfall on top of you. And look at this one, inside the hot tub waterfall. I got to go to this place and hang out in the water. What do you think? You're interested now, aren't you? This is another cool one. It was built into the side of the forest, and it was super duper green. Quinn, you always fall out of your chair when your mind is blown. Should work on that. That seems dangerous. Here's the town. This is a town right next to the volcano. So this is where we slept, really close to the volcano. So we were lucky that the volcano didn't explode while we were staying here. All right. In addition to all the green, they also have really, really green and beautiful beaches. Are you okay? You guys are really wanting to be at the beach, aren't you? You're getting tired of being cooped up in home.
Yes.
Too many movies and all this nature.
Because normally we would be going to Ocean City in just a couple weeks, but it's canceled.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, whenever
it's related to green.
You can show them at the end of the lesson.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Do they have raccoons?
They probably have raccoons. I'm not sure. I didn't see any raccoons while I was there.
Can you check?
We can check. They also do surfing, so that's one of the things they do in the ocean. Maybe they have raccoons that surf. What do you think? Surfing raccoons? Looks like they have raccoons. There you go.
They're so cute.
I wonder if they have raccoons surfing. No, that looks like a human. Did I ever tell you guys about the story of when I saw a raccoon at Mimi and Pops' house?
No.
I was in the hot tub and we heard something outside and we were very confused, me and my friends, and we were looking and we saw the trash can moving and there was a raccoon going inside the trash cans outside. You know they like trash, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the hot tub?
Oh yeah, we were at the hot tub, but they love to go into the trash because there's all kinds of food and things in there. See, look, it was just like this. We were in the hot tub and we heard noise and we look out and there's the raccoon going into the trash can. At nighttime. They're nocturnal, like some of the frogs. They come alive at night.
Look at that one. Raccoons are my favorite. That one's in the trash can, sticking its head out.
Let's focus.
Raccoons are my favorite.
Yeah, Racky. So they also have this town along. They have a lot of really small towns along the beach, and some of them have these giant potholes. And so you try and drive down this road, and you're going boom, 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 and it's splashing if it's raining, and it is very uncomfortable. So it's better to walk. You can actually walk the road faster than you can drive it because you have to go so slow in the car in some places. But they actually do that intentionally. They don't want to fix it because they don't want people to drive super, super fast. In Costa Rica and a lot of countries, they don't want to go fast. They want to go slow. And it's all about taking it easy because it's about simple life and being relaxed. And they don't want to be too crazy or too hype. In fact, they do it so much that they have this term called pura vida, which means pure life or simple life or the good life. And so it's very calm, very relaxed, and that's sort of their attitude. And the people are super happy and chill. And here are some of the folks. You can see big smiles. Here's some of the kiddos throwing up the peace signs and the bunny ears, apparently. The adults are happy. And they're even happy when they're celebrating in their festivals, just like a lot of the other countries. Everyone always enjoys the festivals. In fact, this country in Costa Rica, they're so happy that some years they've been ranked the happiest country in the world. Now, usually the happiest countries in the world are Finland and Denmark and Norway, up in the very, very north of Europe, along with Iceland and the Netherlands and Switzerland, Sweden. So that's usually the happiest countries. But some years, Costa Rica gets ranked as the happiest country. So a couple years ago, they were ranked #1. The U.S. is down here at number 19. So people in the U.S. are pretty happy, but not quite as happy as Costa Rica.
I think I know what their favorite game is.
Oh, yeah? What do you think that is?
Soccer.
I think that's a good guess. I wasn't even going to show you because I just assume it's soccer today.
Is it?
I don't know. I haven't looked it up yet. We'll look it up in a second. But one of the things that's interesting is because they're so happy and because their life is so simple and they eat really clean, they actually have what's called a blue zone. And a blue zone means it's a part of the world where a lot of people live to be more than 100. They live to be really, really old. And that's why you see some of these older folks pictured here. And there's one area in particular on the western coast of Costa Rica called Nicoya Peninsula. And that's that town I showed you with all the potholes. That town's in that area. And people there live to be really, really old because there's no stress. It's relaxed.
Like
Oftentimes when people are very stressed or they go too fast, they use their life too fast.
Like 1,000 years old?
100 years old. 2 zeros. 3 zeros would be very old. 1,000 years old, no one, I don't think, has ever lived that old.
How about Google years old?
Google years old? That would be pretty old. I don't even know. That's a big number. Do you think Costa Rica is a big country or a small country? Or a medium-sized country?
Small.
It's fairly small. You're right. It has 5 million people. So it's about the same size as Ireland. It is, yeah, I guess that's the one. Oh, and Panama, about the same size as Panama. So it's a pretty small country.
Actually, it's neighbors with Panama.
It is neighbors with Panama. That's true. And one of the things that's really interesting about Costa Rica is that they have no army. You know how a lot of countries have an army or a military that's there to defend them? Costa Rica doesn't have one. They're like, meh, we don't need one of those. We're just going to be nice and kind, and no one's going to come in and invade us, and we're going to make treaties and have partnerships with countries that have armies. And so they've decided they don't need one.
But did they need one?
Well, they haven't had one for 100 years. So they haven't had any wars in the past 100 years, and it's really peaceful there. That's why a lot of people visit, is that it's very calm and there's not a lot of crime. So they have police. They have people who help keep things in order locally, but they don't have any sort of military to go international. And I had this sort of list up which shows some of the biggest armies in the world, which is the biggest countries in the world, like China and India and the United States and Russia. These are the ones that have really, really big ones. But Costa Rica, they're all the way down at the bottom as one of the only countries that doesn't have an army. Panama, Costa Rica, Iceland, 3 countries we've learned about that don't have an army. And Haiti barely has one too, just 150 people.
Panama has like absolutely no army.
Yeah, same with Costa Rica. They're all at 0.
Panama's the least.
Iceland, Panama. Well, it's all 0. So it's 0, 0, 0.
Why don't they need one? Why did they decide that?
We can learn that a little bit more later. I think most of these countries, it's because they don't really have any threats. They don't have any arguments with other countries, and they just make partnerships with other countries that will protect them if anything ever goes bad. And so they say, we don't need an army. We're just going to play it easy and enjoy life. Pura vida.
That's good.
Here's a picture of San Jose. San Jose is their one big city. A lot of these small countries have one city. They have some small ones, but one big one. And this one's up in the mountains. And the coolest thing that I got to do in San Jose is we took a car and we drove up into the suburbs, up into the hill, through a little town like this, a 1-lane road. And we came to a house that had a lot of dogs. Do you guys like dogs?
Yeah.
What's the most number of dogs you've ever seen in one place?
How many?
What's the most you've ever seen in one place? 5, 10, 20?
I don't know. I think at least 5.
At least 5? This house had
least
over 1,000 dogs. They had 1,000 dogs. Look at this. These are the dogs out in the street. They're just going for a walk, and they're all walking together. This is them going for food.
Look, go back to the picture that you just did. The third one.
Through a couple of them.
Third one, yeah, that one.
You want the selfie one, don't you?
Look, he likes the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, they have this big field that they all go and hang out with. And it's basically this couple who, there were a lot of stray dogs that, their owners couldn't take care of them anymore, or maybe the dogs had kids, but they didn't want to take care of the kids. And so this family just kept taking in more and more and more dogs. Maybe they got injured, and so they have this giant field with tons of dogs. And actually, there's a documentary about them on Netflix. So if sometime you guys can watch that, and you can see all these dogs.
Interesting.
Whoa. Like, I thought it was just gonna be like 20 dogs in one house.
Yeah, it's like 1,000. It's crazy. So
In
crazy.
one house?
In one field, one home. They don't all live inside. They live out in the field. And let's see, a couple final things about Costa Rica. They have lots of fruits, as you can imagine. Pineapple is a big one. They produce a lot of coffee, bananas, no surprises there. I don't even know what this fruit is. What do you think this is? That's a funky looking one.
Mushroom.
I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, all kinds of funky fruits. Coffee, of course. Costa Rica has some of the best coffee in the world, just like Guatemala and Brazil, Colombia. They make a lot of sugar. So if you guys like sugar, you can thank Costa Rica because a lot of it's coming from there.
Thank you. Thank you.
On behalf of Costa Rica, we say you're welcome.
Thank you. I'll keep saying this forever. Thank you.
And you know that all the sugar comes from fields like this, right? Giant sugar sticks. And they take those sticks and they chop them up and they squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze until all the juice comes out. And then they let that juice sit and they do some fancy things with it. And then all of a sudden it comes out all crystallized so you can eat it and enjoy it.
Yeah. Well.
And here's some of their food. They eat rice and beans, plantains, meats, fishes, all the basic things that you would expect.
I don't like fish. I love fish.
And they like soccer. No surprises there.
Yep, no surprise.
You guessed it. Apparently this guy likes basketball though. Maybe he thinks he's playing soccer. I think he's confused. Do you think he knows he's playing basketball?
Wait.
No.
Wait, can you type in Costa Rica people getting hit with basketball?
Why?
That would be fun, but I think we're going to leave that for the other episode when we saw the kid get hit in the face. I forget which one that was. We should look up original stuff that we haven't seen before. Like, I don't know. I don't have any creative ideas. Do you guys have any creative ideas?
Monkeys eating bananas.
Or silliest animal in Costa Rica.
What'd you say, Rach?
Silliest animals in Costa Rica.
That's a good one. Oh, there's a banana monkey. Oh, look at this one just hanging out on the ledge. He's like resting his tail and everything. That looks comfortable. Oh, have you ever seen monkeys hang from their tails? Sometimes they don't even use their hands. Oh, this one's walking on a string.
Yeah, those are spider monkeys.
Yeah, exactly. Hanging from tail. Yeah, there you go. Some spider monkeys. Super cool.
What about a monkey suggestion?
Yeah, I'll look up the silly animals too. Monkeys on hanging bridge. So one of the things I saw when I was walking around and doing my tour is there were monkeys walking around on the hanging bridge, just like this. So I was trying to cross the bridge and a monkey was just standing in the middle of the bridge. And so I had to wait for the monkey to go away so it wouldn't get scared by me.
You could have just tasted it. But I would never do that.
All right, let's see. Silliest animals. Whoa.
The baby sloth.
The baby sloth is back.
A dog? Oh, look at those
dogs
ones.
Really like selfies.
Wait. Second one, it's the one, it's the one with the baby. It's on the line. No.
You mean this lion dog?
No, go
look
up.
At this. There's a baby sloth kissing a puppy. Cute. Is this what you were looking at, Hayden?
Yeah,
this little guy? I don't even know. It's a bat. It's some kind of bat. Look at the ears on this bad boy.
Look at that thing with all. Look at those things with all those and all
crazy
those
fish or something.
The first one, the very first one.
The first one. This guy.
Yeah.
It looks like an underwater thing, some kind of fishy. Yeah, here's a better photo of it. Weird. Under the sea, under the sea. They should make a new Little Mermaid featuring this fish. What do you guys think?
Actually, they made a real live one. They're making a real live one. They are.
Cool.
Look at the last one on the first row. That's it.
That's it. There's not too much to learn. You know, we've learned so many things already about Latin America and Central America and South America. It's time to go learn more about Europe and Asia, maybe some Africa, other places that we haven't spent as much time.